7th is a breathwork workshop from 2 to 4 p.m., another 2-hour workshop. So you get the opportunity not only to learn about breathwork, the physiological and neurological benefits of breathwork, but you'll get to try out a couple of different types of pranayama and hopefully find a new tool that you like, something you can take home, add to your practice, and further your intentions for whatever it is you're looking to create in the new year. Should you be interested in those, let me know after class and we can get you enrolled or point you in the direction to where more information is to be had. Let's do the thing. 60 minutes of a journey into power. Begin in child's pose. So take your knees super wide, toes come to touch behind you. I'm going to pass out some assisting cards here at the top of your mat while we're in child's pose. This is a way that you can tell me at any point throughout the practice, and as many points throughout the practice, whether or not you're interested in receiving hands-on assists. Feel free to turn that card over and over as many times as you'd like. You are in complete control of your experience here this afternoon. So go ahead and start building your breath rate here. Extend your inhales and your exhales even longer. And then start to add in that little bit of constriction toward the back of your throat. So moving your tongue just a smidge back so you can start to create that sound on your exhale as if you're fogging up a mirror. And as you build here, build the volume of breath, both in the volume that you can hear and the amount of breath moving in and out of your lungs. Start to create all 4 parts of the breath. So inhale, 3, 2, 1. Notice the pause at the top. Then exhale, 3, 2, 1. Notice the pause at the bottom. So 4 distinct parts to the breath, the inhale, the exhale, and the 2 pauses, each with something different, a different energetic imprint that it leaves on us, something different we can get out of each breath. And we'll start to explore that as we move. So take 1 more breath here. Exhale it out. Take your first downward facing dog. Go ahead and bend one knee and then the other. Take your hips side to side. Any movement that you need to take so you can get ready to really start moving. Yeah, get out all the creaks and cracks. Wipe away the cobwebs from your knees and your elbows. And let's match the movement with the breath here. So on the inhale, lift your heels to the ceiling. Exhale, bring them down toward the floor. Inhale, feel for the lift. Exhale, hover your knees above the floor. Yeah, inhale, send your hips up and back, down dog. Exhale, bring your knees down right above the floor. 1 more like that. Inhale, press it back. Exhale, knees to hover. Step or hop forward. Halfway lift at the top of your mat. Create a long flat back here. Pull your shoulders together onto your back so they're lifting up toward the ceiling. Yeah, squeeze in. Nice, and this is the halfway lift we want to create every single time we get here. This is the pause. This is where you receive the pose. 1 more breath. Take ragdoll. Pull the pit of your belly up and in. Big C-shaped curve in your back. Let your head drop. Let your shoulders drop. Press your feet down into the floor. Nice. Now get really acquainted with those feet. Feet here on 12 o'clock. Lift and spread your 10 toes. Press the mound of each big toe down and the center of each heel down. Now lift up through your pelvis to your crown all the way to extended mountain. Reach up, look up. Hands at heart center. You choose right here your I am statement. I am, fill in the blank. You're strong, you're focused. What are you? What do you strive to be for the next 60 minutes? And we'll seal those intentions with one Om together. Big breath in. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, find the pause, find the lift, and fold. Extended mountain, reach up, look up, fold. Halfway lift, long flat spine here, and fold. Extended mountain, reach all the way up, pull your front ribs into center, fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga, step or hop back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breath in together and out. 2 more just like that. Fill up and empty. Louder so our friends on screen can hear. Fill up. Empty out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Press down as you reach through your fingers. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Step or hop back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. 2 more. Fill up and empty. Last one. Come to your tippy toes. Exhale, bend and hover. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale for that 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Last time. Empty completely. Feet to hands, half lift. Fold. Extended mountain, gaze up. Maybe it goes back. Nice, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, empty at the bottom. Up dog. Down dog. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Last time, fill up. Blow it out. On empty, move forward, half lift. Fold. Chair pose, sink down, reach high. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga, step or hop. If you're hopping back, it's straight to low plank. Up dog. Down dog. Right side, warrior 1. Inhale as you rise. Receive the pose at the top. Chaturanga on your exhale. Up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left side, reach up, look up. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Down dog. Organize the breath here. In and out. 2 more. Fill. Empty. Last one. Empty completely. Feet to hands, half lift. Fold. Chair pose, sink deeper. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right side, warrior 1. Inhale as you rise. Chaturanga on the exhale. You move with your breath. Dog. Down dog. Left side, and whatever that means, your pace may be faster. Chaturanga on your exhale, or slower than mine. Faster or slower than your neighbors, and that's perfect. We want that unity of you, your body, your breath. One more breath in. Exhale it out. Last sun B. Move to the front of your mat. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Down dog. Right side warrior one. Inhale at the top. Catch it. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left side. Connect with your paws at the top. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Nice breath in. Exhale it out. Lift your right leg up behind you. Press it past the back of your mat. All 5 toes, dial them down toward the mat. Nice, so hips are super even here. Press down equally through both hands. Bend your top knee. Open up. If you're going there, flip it. Both feet here on 12 o'clock right away. Yeah, everyone bring your toes just a little closer together so your knees are tracking straight forward out of your hips. Nice, yeah, maybe even look to see. One more breath. Both hands down, side plank, right side. Your degree, whatever your body needs in this pose, so whether that's a knee down or a leg lifted. Yeah, take that top leg if it wants to do something crazy. Try out tree pose or maybe reaching for the ankle. Yeah, one more breath. Make it as big as you can. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale it out. Lift your left leg up behind you. Extend the whole leg. So as much as you can, take all the flexion out of your knee. Nice. Press down in the heels of your hand and press down in each finger. If I wanted to come around and pluck your fingertips off the mat, I shouldn't be able to do it. Bend your knee, open up, stay or flip. Sink your heels down into the floor so you can press the center of your pelvis up toward the ceiling. Now the center of your chest toward the ceiling. Can you peel that left arm back just a little bit more? Expand your chest. Nice. One more breath. Both hands down, side plank on the left. You build this pose from the bottom. Everything that's touching the floor presses down. So everything that's lifted up can lift. Find a little bit more length here by pulling your front ribs in towards center. Nice. Last breath. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Sigh it out. Crescent lunge, right side. Sink down low. Once you've got that back foot set up, how far down in your lunge does it take to start feeling the stretch through the left hip flexor? Yeah, it's a little different for all of us. There may need to be a small bend in your left knee. Press down in your heel. Lift all the way up, pelvis to crown. Gaze to the ceiling. Now take it back just a foot or two. Yeah, press down in that back foot. That's the rudder for this whole pose. One more breath. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. If your arms are staying here at center, use them. Press in so you can expand your chest and upper back. Nice. Now let your thoracic spine right here melt forward into your chest. It might feel as though your shoulders retract. Nice. One more breath. Ring it out. Back to crescent lunge. Warrior two. Stay low here if you can. Front knee at 90. And then for most of us, we can back it up just a little bit to get the shoulders directly over the hips. So instead of reaching forward in this pose, see if you can bring it back over your hips. Nice adjustments. Stay right there. One more breath. Extended side angle. Press your arm into the inner side of your leg. Yeah, so you're pressing your knee out here, so it's headed straight over your middle toe. Maybe even look down so you can see that happening. Nice. Now press down even more so the top half of your body gets light. Can you reach both arms forward for one breath? Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Step your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Sink low right away. Yes, and then press the back of the right thigh up toward the ceiling. So both hips here are on an even plane. Nice, reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Sink lower until you can start to feel the stretch in the front side of your right hip flexor. One more breath to get long. Hands to heart center, twist to your left. Press your hands together or take it to the next place. If you're taking a bind here or opening the arms, go there right away. Use the pressing down to lift up. Nice. Last inhale here. Ring it out on your exhale. Back to crescent lunge. Warrior two. Sink low and then check out your feet. Draw a line here in your mind's eye or right down the center of your mat from your heel of your front foot all the way to the heel or arch of your back foot. Nice. And can we take that little pressing out, just like we do in the extended side angle, so the knee is already straight over the toe. Everyone take your knee just a little bit more to the left. Nice. Now go for extended side angle. Keep that little bit of tension there with the knee pressing out. And then your arm pressing into the knee. That little bit of extra stability, adding lightness to the top of this pose. Last breath, can you reach both arms forward? Nice, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose, sit down low, reach up high. And it's already pre-programmed. You've done this 1,000 times. You know how low you're going to get for the twist, so get there right away. Nice. And then now that you're all the way down here, lift the front of your pelvis to your belly button. Take your gaze between your fingers. One more breath. Hands to heart center, turn right. You got it. 3 breaths on this side to lengthen and twist. Press your heels down, lengthen and twist. Last time, lengthen out. Stay for your twist. Back to chair. Hands to heart center, twist left. Yeah, you can stay down here. You've got it. Your breath moving in and out. Your drishti on one point. And all of a sudden, you've got one more breath. Exhale it out. Back to chair. Now fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Peace fingers around your big toes. Press into your heels. And then you might even take your feet just a little bit pigeon-toed here. So heels out a little bit wider. And that just kind of exacerbates what happens in the pelvis in these forward folds, where the front of the pelvis closes off and we get the back of the pelvis and the back of the low spine open. Press down to lift your sit bones up. Yeah, but don't lock out the knees. Nice, just like that. Release your toes. Inhale, chair pose. Sit and stay. Find your drishti settled on something specific. Then take your gaze up between your fingertips. Nice, you've got it. Now sit down and back just a little bit further. Start to get that feeling in your feet, like your toes almost want to grip the mat because you're going to fall over. One more breath. Fold. Palms to toes forward. Fold. Gorilla pose. Bring your toes here as close to your wrists as they can get. And then bend your knees a whole lot. Nice. Create that same opening in the pelvis here that we want in the forward fold. So the heels are out a little bit wider to open up the lumbar spine. Nice. Release your toes. Crow pose. Crow, goddess. If you want to tip your crow over and take another inversion, you go there. Choose your pose and then receive it. Whatever it is, whether you're getting upside down or your feet are on the floor, press through your heels. Nice. If they're in the air, can they come together? Pull into your center line. One more breath. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Move your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain at the top of your mat. Reach up, look up. Take eagle pose on your right. Right arm under, right leg over. Settle your drishti here right away. Our two first practice pillars are all we really need here in equanimity. So your drishti, your focus on one spot, and then your breath moving in and out. Switch sides, left arm under, left leg over. Put in and keep present both of those elements, your drishti on one spot. Keep your breath moving. So you're noticing those pauses, but stay active with it. Make the breath happen rather than just allowing it to happen. Switch sides, eagle on the right, right arm under, right leg over. Press your big toe mound on your standing foot down. Let that be the spot that's glued to the floor, holding you in place here. Switch sides, left arm under, left leg over. And just that one touch point, the big toe mound of your standing foot. From right there, you can feel all those other little muscles in your foot articulating every time you sway this way and that. And release. Standing leg raise on your right. You choose here if you're grabbing for a knee, a toe, or a strap. Open up to the right. Gaze moves towards your left. Flex your lifted foot. Nice. Now bring that right hip down to meet the left. So for most of us, it wants to come all the way up here. Can you put a little bend in your standing knee so you can steer that hip down? Very nice. Back to center, airplane. Keep that articulated foot here, pressing through your big toe mound, even though it's not pressing into anything. Yeah, dial all 5 toes down toward the mat. Hug your leg into its hip socket. Now open up half moon. Yeah, so the leg stays exactly the same here. The more we flex that foot and the more we press through it, the more it stays lifted. And it becomes almost effortless, right? So the more you press back, the lighter it gets on its own. One more breath, both feet to the mat. Fantastic. Shake it out. Left side standing leg raise, knee, toe, or strap, your choice. You choose where to go and then open up to the left. Gaze moves to your right. Set up the leg here on this side. Flex your lifted foot. Little bend in your standing knee so you can steer your left hip down to meet your right. Come on back to center, airplane. Press it straight back. All 5 toes dialed down. Nice. Lift your chest. Keep that alignment with your leg. Open up half moon. And there, you've got it. The more you press, as you open, that leg always tends to drop. And across the room, I saw most of you keep it at the exact same height. Love that. Lift your heel another inch. Both feet down. Nicely done. Dancer pose on your right. Catch the inside of your right ankle, soft side of your elbow facing out towards the right side of your mat with your thumb to the ceiling. Squeeze the knees together at center, and then we'll send the foot straight back. Nice. And then just using your proprioception here, notice where the knee wants to go. Bring it back down towards center. Nice adjustments. Keep your drishti and then switch sides. Dance it on over to the left. And then take that same clasp here with your hands, with your inner elbow facing out, thumb toward the ceiling. Take your drishti to where you want your body to go. We tend to go in the direction that we're looking. Yeah, so maybe the drishti is right ahead or way out in front of your mat if you want to keep it on the floor. One more breath. Both feet down. Tree pose, right side. You choose. Foot goes anywhere you like it, anywhere from your ankle all the way to your thigh, just avoiding the inside of the knee. Press down in your standing foot, reach up and out. Express your tree. Hands could be clasped at center, maybe taking a bind behind the back. You choose. Extend all the way out to the distal parts of yourself so your fingertips lit up here. What would it look like if your fingertips were involved in your tree pose? Switch sides. And then keep that same energy. You've got tree pose going all the way out to your fingertips. What if it also extended down into your feet? How much taller could you get? Notice where in your own body you can pull into center, press down, and where there might be a little bit more lift hiding that we weren't aware of. 2 more breaths. Both feet to the mat on your exhale. Inhale, extended mountain at the top, and fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga, step or hop back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, triangle pose, right side. Step your foot all the way up to the top of your mat. Nice, and then get your back foot in such a way that it's parallel to the back of your mat. And then take the heel out just a little bit further than your toes. Nice. And you've got such long legs, you could probably bring your toes all the way up to here and still have some foundation. Yes. Little tiny bend in both knees. Side facing wide leg forward fold, 10 toes to the left side of your mat. Place your hands on your hips and have a fold. And then yogi's choice here. If there's an inversion that needs to happen, maybe some lunges side to side, maybe a twist from the center of your mat. Customize this part of the practice to get what it is you want. Keep your breath moving. And even in the movement here, take your drishti one point to the next. Nice inversions. Take another breath or two and make your way down. Get complete and even in your side to side movement. And on your next inhale, rise up all the way to stand. Namaste, front facing forward fold. So mini warrior one stance. Keep your hands here on your hips to start and then hinge forward. And you'll start to notice here as you take the hinge whether or not your feet need to move. We want the hips to be flat. So I'm feeling right here in my own body that I can't really plant down the back heel, so I need to take a bit of a shorter stance. See what you feel, notice what you notice. Nice, and then pull the shoulders together on your back. Can you lift them all the way up toward the ceiling? Nice, twist your triangle. Left arm comes down, right arm to a T or toward the ceiling. You can take your gaze up to meet your fingers if it's comfortable for your neck. Now pull your jawbone straight back towards your neck. Lengthen out your cervical spine. One more breath. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side triangle. Step it big. Take up all the spaces of your mat. Especially if you got a new mat for Christmas, you want to break in the entire thing. So take up all the space. Reach from one set of fingertips to the other. Could you create some more space here between your shoulder blades from one to the other? Pull the front ribs into center. Belly button straight back. Side facing wide leg forward fold. You can take a clasp behind your back here for a bind, allowing the shoulders and everything to spill forward. Another inversion if you want one. Stillness if that's what you're looking for. We're just putting in those principles here. And what are we getting right here? Well, this is part of our grounding sequence. So what we're looking for is to feel grounded. Everything that's pressing the floor presses down. Little bend in the knees so we have access to that pressing down. And then notice what you get there. What you get is that reverberation, that kind of push back up from the earth that allows you to lift. Lift your hips to the ceiling. Maybe find a little bit more lightness somewhere in the pose. If you're taking movement, get complete on both sides. Nice. Now use your strong core. Come all the way up. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Left foot forward. Hands on the hips. Take your hinge. And then again, just be here for a moment, noticing what it is that you notice in your hips. Bind or no bind, lift your shoulders up to the ceiling. Nice. And can you retract them just a little bit more? Pull the shoulder blades together on your back. Drop your bind, twist your triangle. Right arm down, left arm to a T or toward the ceiling. One more breath to lengthen. Twist it out on your exhale. Chaturanga, flow through. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Come all the way forward to a high plank and lower down to the mat. Chest and hips touch at the same time if they can. And as soon as you get there, press down, rise up, locust pose number 1. Pull your breath here down into your belly. So with your belly on the floor, you might feel that makes you kind of rock back and forth a little bit or side to side. Embrace the wiggles. One more breath in, lower down, right cheek to the mat. Take your feet side to side. Locust pose number 2, press down, rise up. Just as you would if you were standing here in Tadasana, lift the front of your pelvis towards your sternum. Nice. Do you feel the difference that makes in your low back? A little bit of opening. One more breath. Lower down, left cheek to the mat. Take your feet side to side. And we'll go for floor bow. Grab for your ankles, one ankle or both. We'll do 2. Squeeze your knees together. Press your shins straight back. Nice. So we want the knees here to be as close as they can be. So hips width distance or closer. It's going to open up your low back. Stay lifted. One more breath. Lower down. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Floor bow number 2. Opposite foot or both feet again. Squeeze your knees together. Press back. And I'll tuck your chin right here. So from the front of the room, all I should see is the tops of everyone's head. Yeah, so you're keeping your thoracic spine and everything else super long. One more breath. Lower all the way down. Great job. Take your feet side to side. Place your hands at your lowest ribs. Upward facing dog. On an inhale, reach up, look up. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Camel pose. One of them. Come on down to your knees. And you'll set yourself up here, shoulders over hips, hips over knees. So we've got Tadasana, but standing on our knees. So put in all of your true north cues here. Lift the front of your pelvis to your belly button. Front ribs pull back into center so they're right over your hips. From there, hands in your imaginary back pockets. Lift your chest to the ceiling. If there's a little back bend there, take it. But really what we want to find here is that length, all the lifting up. This is preparing us for a wheel in which we have a long back spine. One more breath. And on your next inhale, rise up and out. Sit back on your feet. And then bring your feet all the way around for bridge pose. Flat on your back with your knees to the ceiling. Stack your heels under your knees. And on an inhale, lift your hips. So here in bridge pose number 1, this is our first big back bend where we've really got our legs involved too. So you can feel right here the difference between this and your forward fold, where the forward fold was front of the hips, closed, back of the hips, open. Here we have the opposite. We're kind of opening the front of the hips a little, and the back starts to close. One more breath. Lower down. Take your knees side to side. Bridge pose number 2, press down, lift up. So the key here to creating more space in the back body is that the knees are coming straight out of the hips. There's a tendency right here to kind of want to splay the knees out wide, splay the feet out wide. See if you can bring them in towards center. Nice, one more breath. Lower all the way down. You have got 3 more back bends. You decide what to do with them. Bridge or wheel, press down and rise. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, breath in and out. Inhale, rise. Number 2, stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, 1 breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, rise. Last one, best one. Nice space there in your low back, Erica. Press your feet down. Nice. Drishti to one spot. Lower all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet together, knees wide. And you may have felt right there that there was a tendency to want to kind of come out of that back bend and then pull the knees into the chest right away. We want to stay neutral instead, which is why we land here with a flat back. Feet to the ceiling, dead bug. Grab for the outer edges of your feet, the backs of your thighs, the front of your shins. Take your feet all the way to the ceiling. We're going to go straight for abdominal twists here. So go ahead and take your knees to 90 degrees. You choose if you're extending one leg and then the other, but elbows wide, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Your pace. And then shift your vision right here. What we're doing here is exploring and experiencing the stability that's already in our body and building a little bit more. Stability isn't just a section of ab exercises. I mean, essentially, that's what you're getting. But we want to create here that this is the container that we take all this work in and we take it out into the world. Stay right where you are with your pace for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees, rock back and forth 3 times, all the way up to boat pose. And then take your biggest boat. Feet on the floor or lifted. Hands behind your legs for support or lifted. Now lift your chest. Nice, pull your jawbone straight back towards your neck. 2 more breaths. Fill up. Let it go. Hug your knees. Right side half pigeon. On your back or on your belly. So on your belly, this looks like right knee toward right wrist with your ankle moving over toward the left. Keeping the left ankle flexed here is going to keep any twisting or rotation out of that knee. And we're not here for long, so allow yourself right here to just receive the pose, be in it. Allow your breath to explore the pose. Notice here if there's anywhere that you are holding back. If you're pressing down into your elbows, can you let that soften? Nice, let the head drop. Switch sides, left side. Keeping the left foot flexed. And then extend your leg all the way back. And then just noticing a few things here with your proprioception. Is your knee on your right side facing down toward the floor? Nice. Now, once that's in place, take your leg just straight behind you. So for most of us, we can go a little bit closer, toward the center of the mat. Come over here where you can touch. Yeah, perfect. Feel for those spots where you're holding back and see what you could give up to get something else out of this pose. Press up and out. Bring your right leg all the way around for seated single leg extension. So right leg is now extending out front. Left leg comes in like tree pose. On an inhale, lift. And on the exhale, fold from your hip creases. And just like we were when we were standing, press through your heel to press your sit bones back. Switch sides. Left side seated single leg extension. Set it up. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Creating that long forward fold spine here. So allow your thoracic spine, the space between your shoulder blades, to melt forward. It might even feel a bit like your shoulders are retracting onto your back. Bring back your breath. And release both feet forward. Seated forward fold, ankles together. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Find yourself sitting here on the front side of your sit bones. So you've got the longest back that you can create. And if you're noticing there's a lot of rounding, bend your knees a little bit more. Just like you would if you were standing, you bend your knees to touch your toes. You can do the same thing here. Release tabletop or reverse plank. Soles of your feet into the floor. Fingertips towards your heels. Lift your hips and your chest to the ceiling. And lower down. One moment here, flat on your back. Lay all the way out. And then you choose how you're getting upside down. Headstands or handstands, take that at the front of your mat or on a wall space. Waterfalls, shoulder stands. Get your feet above your hips. Maybe your hips above your heart. Yep, so the leg can be straight up. I like the option lately of the waterfall just with a block underneath for some support. Love that. Erica's got some handstand hops going on. Press through your heels. Shoulder stands, make your way to plow. Bring your toes down behind your head toward the floor. If your toes touch, you could let go of your hips and find a bind down by your mat. And then plow to deaf yogi. Bring your knees down around your ears. Maybe there's a little squeeze to be had. Now take your arms long down the long sides of your mat. Use them as brakes to come down one vertebra at a time all the way to the floor. Hug your knees into center and drop them to your right side for a supine twist. Erica, if you want to dim your lights or you've got a cold eye towel prepared for yourself, indulge. Feel for where your hips are in space here to see if there's space to add some room to your twist. So just like if we were wringing out a rag, if you leave it slack in the middle, you can't really expect a whole lot to happen when you wring it out. But the more we lengthen the proverbial rag or our spine, the more action happens during the twist. Bring your knees to center, take them to the left. You've all got a cool eye towel. Feel free to reach for that when you are ready for it. And then after a breath or two here, take your mind's eye down the whole of your spine from your neck to your tailbone and see where we could add some length. For most of us, that'll probably mean taking the bottom hip and shifting it a little bit closer to the middle of the mat. Yeah, just like that. So you're almost pressing it behind you. Come all the way back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees wide. And use this moment here to set up for your Shavasana. Hug your shoulders underneath of you. Choose the arm variation that feels right. And then take your Shavasana, legs out long and wide. Supta Baddha here could feel restorative if you want to stay there. Could add another block or two under each of your knees for some support. You choose the final resting pose that makes your practice feel complete. I'll share today's passage from Journey to the Heart by Melody Beatty, titled Heal Yourself. Infuse healing energy into yourself and into your being. For too long, we've been attracted to the things that drain us, exhausting our bodies and depleting our soul. That time has passed. The world is a spa, a nature retreat, a wealth of healing resources. Pour Epsom salts and essential oils into your bath. Sit quietly by a tree or in a garden. Walk around the block in your neighborhood. Light a fire and awaken that darkened hearth to glowing flames and soothing warmth. Rise from your bed early in the morning, open the curtains, and watch the sunrise. Feel the sunrise. Let it infuse you with its message. Let it energize and invigorate you and fill you with life. At day's end, return to the window or step outside and watch the sun set. Absorb its changing colors spreading out beyond the horizon, and feel how it changes the earth and all that it touches. Pet a puppy, stroke a piece of velvet, listen to a symphony. Absorb revitalizing energy until you can hear your voice and hear your heart tell you what would feel good, what would bring you peace, what would bring you stillness, and what would bring you joy. Before long, doing what brings healing and joy will become as natural as it used to be to do what drains, tires, depletes, and exhausts. Healing is all around you, wherever you are, whatever your resources, healing energy and joy are there. Begin to deepen your breath and bring some small movements back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently make your way toward a full body stretch, fingers in one direction, toes in the other. Hug it all into center. Bring your knees to your chest and rock to your right side for infant's pose. Give yourself gratitude for showing up, for choosing to do something that heals and invigorates you. Press your left hand into the floor to rise to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed or drishti settled in front of your nose. On an inhale, reach up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll end as we began with one Om together. Breath in. Thumb knuckles rise to forehead center. We bow and acknowledge each other. Would not have been the same class without each of you. Namaste. Awesome work, yogis. Questions, comments, feedback, you know where to find me. I'll be floating around the studio. If you borrowed any props or mats, leave them up here on the floor so I know which ones need wiped down. And I will see you all out front shortly. Thank you so much for joining us, Erica. We'll see you next time.